Hello Capricorn, welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. Alright, so we're not going to start with the tea right this second. We're going to pull a card from the Thoth deck here, and we're going to just kind of it's a vibe check, right? It's just going to kind of inform us on what energy we are coming into, and we have the Nine of Wands. I'm happy to see this. I really feel we are all collectively, not just you wonderful Tauruses, but we are marching towards this place of a little bit of ease, I guess. I think it's ease, a little bit of things just, feeling like you can breathe just a little bit. I'm not saying it all just gets better immediately, but in this new moon, it is the new moon in Capricorn turning into Aquarius, and it is an energy of being able to sort through some of those thoughts, to let go of some of those worries. And so seeing the Nine of Wands, I know that we are going to come out on the other side of this really energetically chaotic period of time we've been in. Okay, I think things are slowing down just a little bit. I mean, I don't what we used to think is slow day, slow life. I don't know how do you live like that anymore? I don't know. But the world, it just feels like it's gotten so fast. So when I say slow down, I don't necessarily mean that we're, poolside and once in a while you hear something on the news. I don't know if those days will come back or not. I guess it depends on how we choose to live. But I do feel that there is a sense... Oh, and I just rubbed that with my leg. I'm sorry. I'm sitting crisscross applesauce and I hit the mic. But yeah, I do. I feel like there's a bit of an ease. Okay, so that strength is everything. Now, we're going to take a look at these tea leaves. We're going to see what they have to say. I see that star. I mean, it's really kind of sticking out. We also have, it looks like maybe the number 7 right here, but we also have a person sitting, and they're holding a crescent moon. Okay, so then we have the star right here. The star represents our dreams, right? Our goals, our aspirations, the things that drive us in life. And so we also have a person in a seated position. You can see the legs kind of folded here, holding the crescent moon, the lunar energy, which often has to do with, right, illusion, but also creativity, being deeply within our dreams, being that absurd, wildly irrational person that has these big, lofty dreams and goals and ideas about the world. And honestly, no better sign to have this energy than a Taurus. You all are the ultimate innovative creators, artists of all the signs. And, I say that with a little bit of jealousy. But Taurus people, really, you often kind of get a rap for maybe being a little eccentric. You're maybe like a theater kid, fashion, into music that people don't understand yet, that kind of thing. And yet you thrive. You continue to thrive. And here's the other part about, I could praise you all day long. I love a Taurus. You reinvent yourself constantly, over and over, like you are a trendsetter. So when I see these together, it tells me that you are conceiving of a dream. You are conceiving of your next steps towards realizing a dream. So I feel that you're being creative. You're taking risks. You're not, you're not going to stay in that box. There's no way to keep a Taurus in the box. That's for sure. So we also have that number 7, which has been a really potent number in this last, I would say, like 3 or 4 months. It has become something that I encounter constantly. Of course, we're always going to, see the number 7 in our lives and stuff, but in a symbolic, spiritual context, it seems to show up quite often, very synchronistic. I want to know what numbers, maybe it's the number 7, what numbers have been coming through for you. If you want to share, let me know. I'm always interested in what people are really vibing with. Okay, so we also have it kind of looks to me like we have a cat's head, we have the snake over here, we have, it looks like the Fool to me, almost kind of this, I think it's the legs, the feet. It is also coming from the past into the future, walking into the now, okay? There's almost a feeling of merriment. You can see up in here, it kind of looks like people dancing. Here's a person dancing with another person here. There's a person here dancing, and maybe some kind of instrument. So it's kind of this feeling of the rhythm of things. Right? Like a pulsing rhythm, something that kind of gets your heart going. Like you are on pace, right? You can feel yourself aligned with everything. The Fool in this era is very important, in my opinion. This is a archetype that is all about freedom, first of all, but also such a wide, yet you could also argue limited perception that you are not tied to any one perspective or standpoint or belief. You have yet to form those, or you have had them and you have processed them, you have integrated them, and they have gone through their dissolution where you are not tied to anything. So I feel like this is a time in your life where it is a renewal cycle. It is I have done the things with whatever I was in this last part of my life, right? And maybe something has happened where you've gone through a rite of passage and now your life is aligned in a different way, right? The variables have shifted. And so I feel you also, because we have the Fool in this kind of leader of the band, leader of the march kind of energy. I feel like you are somebody who is interested in entertaining people, possibly leading people. You might be somebody who works within the spiritual industry or realm, or I don't like calling it an industry, but it is, it is. And, or niche. I feel you really drawing people in. You also bring joy. That's the thing. You are a joy bringer. You are a healer through helping people kind of exist in their authentic being. Now, that's a huge on-taking. To be somebody who could facilitate that kind of shedding of conditioning and personas and masks and coping mechanisms. And, so often we think we have to go through these therapies or retreats or get involved in some kind of formal system and get the workbook and do the things. And all of these are important, and we should, in my opinion, my humble little opinion, we should always be exploring and doing stuff, you know, trying new ways of thinking, learning new things, taking classes, you know, meeting different kinds of, you know, spiritually motivated people, right? That doesn't mean we have to, you know, align ourselves or hitch our wagon to each thing. No, but we should be experiencing them. I feel like you are somebody that people feel safe around, safe to be themselves. I think that's a big part of why there's such a healing energy. To be somebody that somebody else could come to and feel like, you know, I can just say the thing. I can just, you know, do the whatever. I'm trying to think of examples here. But just the other day when I put a video out, somebody had, do I name people from the comments? I don't know if I should name, I'm not going to name it. You can go find it. But it's a person who is, you know, kind of been here for a while on the channel, and I think also has their own channel. And anyways, lovely person. And had said something about my vocal stimming, right? Because I do. I make sounds and I say words differently. I elongate. I have fun. Sometimes it's because I'm stressed, right? And it's something that I think for most of my life I've been, I didn't know why I did it, or what, you know, I don't know. I guess I wasn't aware of what it meant, or even what stimming was. But I guess I was self-conscious. I still am a little bit. I'm learning to be less, right? I'm learning to be less self-conscious about it. But here's the deal. I feel like when you can be whatever you are in that moment, when you can just let it go, you know, within reason, of course. I'm not saying just act any old way anywhere, you know, but I feel like it creates an environment where other people can feel like they can express themselves as well. You don't meet a lot of these kinds of people in life, you know, that you come near and you think, okay, well, I can really, you know, I can show them who I am. You know, I can say the things and I can make the jokes and, you know, shift around a lot and be silly and say nonsensical stuff and whatever, you know. A Taurus, you, my darling Taurus, you are one of those rare people. You are one of those people that anybody that comes around you, now, not anybody, because you definitely can guard yourself. You're not naive to the world. But I feel like there's just this sense of people gathering around you. Okay? And I do feel like this is something that you enjoy. You're finding that you really do enjoy it. Now, the cat is always, for me, most of the time, it's about it being an individual. Living in a way that benefits you. Now, I don't mean, you know, scandalous and ruthless, and although nothing wrong with being ruthless, but, you know, for self. A predator of some kind, a con, or, you know, something like this. No, that's not what I mean. But somebody who lives in a way that benefits your living experience, your experience within reality, right? Within this manifestation. You are somebody who prioritizes yourself. You also are okay with doing things out in the world, in the interior, by yourself. Another superpower that a lot of people do not have. A lot of people don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to do things alone. They don't know how to do things without asking for permission or getting some kind of input before they do it, or they've done it and they want some kind of... A lot of people just don't know how to exist by themselves being unseen or, looking for some kind of energetic input, output kind of loop, right? So it is a superpower, in my opinion. When I meet somebody who is fully and truly embodied and okay with doing things for themselves or with themselves or how they like to do it, I'm always kind of astounded. I'm always like, wow, you are a different breed, aren't you? So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see this here. Now, we also have the snake, which is, in this case, all about knowledge, right? Being a teacher, spreading the light, spreading the ability to gather the data that is transmuted into wisdom. I feel that you must be some kind of teacher, or I almost said influencer. I do not mean influencer, no. But you could be somebody who has a following online, for sure. I feel, though, that you are somebody who, again, like I said, you affect people energetically. That's the biggest thing. You are a person, maybe like a counselor. You might do some kind of outreach, volunteering. You're, an artist or a writer, something, right? I feel you're expressive and you affect people in a way that is, again, I keep saying healing, but it is, you're a healer. That stands out more than anything to me. So, what else? Let's see. We have the eye. We have the house. We have a person sitting here. You can see the head. It looks like they're holding something up and maybe drinking something. You can see it kind of looks like a bottle or something. Drinking something. We have 1, 2, 3 people, 4 people. We have birds. Here's one with a long neck. Here's one here. Here's another one. Maybe a couple over here. So we have almost this energy of migration. And it looks reflected in the people over here. So I feel that there's this feels like root work. There's a very feminine, earthy energy, very earthy, old, archaic feeling. It feels like a head of the family. Somebody that, I'm not going to say there was like alcoholism here, but it almost feels, I keep feeling like it's almost like consuming spirits for the purpose of magic or divination or being able to travel in the in-between places as a tool. I don't think it necessarily is like it doesn't feel so much like, I don't know. I grew up in a household of addiction. So, alcohol and things like that were very prominent in my childhood. And I would see how it would transform people, the things that would come out of them, the things that dwelled within them, the actual intelligence of the spirit or alcohol itself. Living out its course in people. And this is not that. It doesn't feel like possession. This feels like medicine in a way. We have like I almost feel like a folk practitioner. I always cease to I try not to say shaman a lot. That means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but somebody who walks in the in-between, somebody who definitely has very apparent abilities in waking life, probably clairvoyant, probably having visions, maybe into some kind of folk medicine or you know, like herbal medicine or magic, right? I don't want to call it witchcraft, but you know, something along, whatever you in your mind, you can group this all together. You know, they're very separate things, a lot of very nuanced when you get in there, but this is not I don't feel that they are still in their corporeal form. There, I can say it. I got it. Meaning they've transcended their body. They're not alive anymore in the way that, you know, we would probably consider, you know, being alive. But the energy, very, very present within the family. Okay. This energy is very connected to you. I feel that you play a similar role in your family. You have some kind of innate ability. You are also, again, as we said, a healer. Okay. It feels like in this next period of time, you're going to have kind of an onslaught of people needing help with issues, problems. Okay. They're going to be calling upon you to be somebody to help sort things out. I don't think that you mind this role, but I also think that you have to be mindful of where you put your time and energies and just making sure that you aren't, you know, prioritizing things that you can't really do much about, and abandoning the work that you're doing for self, right? Whatever that is. So there's something about bananas. There's 2 bananas, and I see them. They're right here. The birds. And I almost feel like maybe this has to do with like potassium. That's what immediately I was like, oh, maybe it's potassium. Restless leg kind of stuff. I feel like there's going to be a few nights here where you're having some difficulty sleeping. The message is because we have that energy of the bananas, which to me, I know it's a weird kind of connection of things, but it does feel like an anxiousness, a shifting in the bed and sheets getting all, you know, bunched up, and you know, just the pillow's too hot, the pillow's too cold, you know, just this feeling of restless energy. But a lot of it is there's a lot of messaging coming through for you. Okay, and I think that's probably a lot of what is happening for you, why you have been so restless. Okay, we have the number 501. We have a person with a name that starts with an E. And I feel like this is somebody who, I feel like it's like they want from you to always kind of be the one that's like, and we have a person on their knees with like holding this right here. It looks like a flower or something. I feel like they expect you to be the one to continually pursue or put in the kind of emotional effort, the kind of you know, expressing your love through whatever, you know, your love language might be. But it feels one-sided quite often. And I feel like that's a real sticking point for you, because, you know, as a Taurus, you expect your energy that you put out to be returned equally. And I feel like that's just not happening with this E person. I feel like the stress of it at times feels like you are just being pushed back, right? And I'm seeing like this feeling of the like old hag syndrome, which is sleep paralysis, right? Where you kind of are in that hypnagogic state in between sleep. Like if you wake up and you can't move, right? You're coherent enough to like perceive, I'm awake, I'm in my body, you're looking around, things maybe look distorted, but you try to sit up and you can't move your body because you're not fully awake yet. Okay. And it can feel like you're trapped, right? It can feel like something's on top of you. Some people see entities, shadow people, might hear sounds. I used to have one where I would hear like a bang sometimes when I was falling asleep. But I feel like there's just this oppressive feeling, okay? It just doesn't feel to me like something you're willing to put up with. At least, like, you're not... I just don't think you're indulging this kind of, like, dynamic where you have to put in so much effort. You just don't have it in you anymore, at least right now. We also have the letter R, okay? I don't know what that has to do with, but you might know. You might know. Yeah. So, I don't know. I can't imagine being somebody that thinks they can put everything on a Taurus, and you're not just going to kind of, you know, okay, sidestep that. I was married. My first husband was a Taurus. So to me, I'm laughing him. Okay, 22. 80. All right. And 32. All right. Taurus, I love you. Thank you for being here. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, it really helps the channel. Other than that, I just want to say I love you. Thank you for being here. You're the best. We'll talk soon.